Hello and welcome back to the Wrestling Answers podcast. I'm your host, Miyamo Jeff53, joined as ever by my wonderful co-host, Joebot22.
Howdy. How are we all?
Well, if by we you mean me, if as the audience have probably picked up by now, I'm a little bit ill. Contracted a little cold from the sounds of it. But that's not going to stop me. And it hasn't stopped the amount of stuff that we've got to talk about this week because, as you guys
We've
might
got a
know,
lot.
yes, yeah, we've got a lot. As you guys
Been a
might
busy
know,
week.
it's been 2 weeks since we last recorded because obviously I went away for a lovely trip to Greece. It was very warm. That's about all I have to say about it. It's just very warm. So yeah, we've got loads of stuff to catch up on. First of which will be our wrestling recap, and of course, the wrestling industry decided to actually get interesting again on the week that I'm off, because we had both SummerSlam on, I think it was actually a Saturday for some reason. They had it on Saturday evening, and before that we had the return of a certain Mr. Phil Brooks to the wrestling industry. But we'll talk about SummerSlam first, and then we'll come to Phil's return afterwards. So yeah, SummerSlam. I'm assuming you didn't watch it.
No, you know me. I don't even think I've heard any results from it. Like I couldn't tell you one guy who won, or
Yeah.
I think Brock returned, didn't he?
Yes, he
I think we
did.
talked.
Big Brocky Brock. Built like
Um,
a brick.
uh, and people in the audience will know that I do not like Brock Lesnar. So yeah, that was great, I guess. He's just
Yeah.
gonna come back for a few months, win a title, squash everyone, and then bugger off for a year, like he always
I mean,
does.
yeah, probably. The insiders are saying his contract is for 8 matches. So at least we know he's going to be around for a
Oh,
little bit.
because considering he only does pay-per-views, that's 8 months there. So
Well, I mean, you don't expect him to show up at Fastlane, do you?
unless he's messing up boys down at NXT, and then it'll only be
Yeah,
four months.
well, that's going to ever happen.
I
But
would love that.
yeah, what else happened at SummerSlam? Becky Lynch returned as well. Uh, Squashed Bianca Belair in about 20 seconds. Which I mean, listen, I don't really pay much attention to it, but I know Bianca didn't deserve to get squashed because Bianca's actually very good, and they've been building her as their future champion as well, future of the industry or future of their like women's title scene, and they just got Becky to squash her on her return. So, well, what can you do? Well, I mean, they could have just booked Becky to not squash her, and they could have had a nice back and forth match instead. But whatever. What else was there? There was the only match I've watched from SummerSlam, right? And I only watched it because it was right before the main event. Was Bobby Lashley versus Goldberg? Because I found out I'd been paying for my network subscription since WrestleMania because I forgot to cancel. So I thought, well, you know what? I, you know, my contract. I'm like I'm a fucking wrestler. Uh, my subscription doesn't expire until like halfway through September, so I might as well watch SummerSlam. So it was while I was still in Greece, so I'm sitting there by the pool, and I'm like, I don't really want to watch the full pay per view. I'll just watch like a couple of the bigger title matches. So I put on Lashley versus Goldberg, and it was okay. The ending stunk. Like Bob Bobby Lashley won by, I guess, ref stoppage because Goldberg just said, "Oh, oh, my leg hurts too much. I can't. Oh, my leg." Goldberg, the massive weapon of a guy who made a habit out of eating jobbers for breakfast. He just fucking he was like, "Oh, my knee, oh, throw the match out,
In that
ref, oh."
scenario,
Fucking
that's when we really need Chris
shit.
Jericho. We just need
It
him
was
to push the
rubbish.
ref and say he's hurt, and then
Yeah. I mean, he
and then
wasn't shoot hurt. Like that was the actual finish to the match. That was how it's supposed to be.
oh god, he's hurt. I love
It
that clip.
stunk. I can't even lie. It was the rest of the match was like fine. It was exactly what you'd expect. It's just an absolute fucking weapon of a man in Bobby Lashley versus a man who is less of a weapon, but he's still a bit of a weapon in Goldberg. Just sort of just ran, excuse me, just sort of just ran into each other for like 3 minutes, and then MVP started cheating, like tripping Goldberg up and stuff. As you do. I thought the finish to it stunk. It looks like they're building towards Goldberg's son getting in the ring, which, I mean, I don't know if I want to see that because the guy looks like the most generic person I've ever seen in my life. I think he's only like our age as well. So like, what's he gonna do in the ring, really?
Oh my god.
Like, he might even be younger than us, but like, he got fucking ragdolled around by Bobby Lashley. Like, bro, what are you gonna do to the absolute fucking weapon that is Bobby Lashley? Right? You're like a fucking 16-year-old kid getting beat the shit out of, while your dad's just lying there pretending to have a broken leg. Fucking weirdo. Yeah, what else was
Get him
there?
against Dominic. That'll be the match.
Dominic versus what's his name? Is it like Gage Gilberg or some Gilberg, Gage Goldberg or some shit like that? Like
It's gonna be like
I
Gil
don't
Cube.
know. Yeah,
He's not a Berg. He's just a cube.
that's a smart one. That's a thinking man's move. That
That
is.
is a thinker. That's a scientific joke.
Yeah.
We don't make many of them.
No, we don't. I can make geographical jokes though. I came up with one the other day. It's just off topic, but
You know, you
it's
got
quite it's
scripted
quite quite a
jokes.
good one. No, well, I was thinking about it at work actually because I was just thinking like just trying to think of funny jokes because I was bored at work, and I came up with one that isn't funny but does like it might get like a groan out of a couple people. Uh, it's how do you get a book from an Eastern European library?
Oh,
You you check it out.
for fuck's sake.
Yeah, you get it because Czech Republic. It's in Eastern
I
Europe.
can just imagine you at work, fucking thinking of that, and then turn into your fucking coworker and be like, "Hey, Sandra, listen to this." A
Yeah,
fucking grin on your face. That
it's
is terrible. That is
awful. It's
awful.
terrible. I've got another one. It's not geographic.
That's not a thinker. That's a stinker. That is.
Yeah, it is. I've got another
Jesus
one.
Christ.
I also thought of. What would you call a villain in a tiny version of The Legend of Zelda?
What?
Ganondorf.
Oh God.
Yeah, see, I'm too slick with it. I'm like John Wick with it. You know, constant
You can
bangers.
also call the hero Shrink.
Yeah, you could. Shrink versus Ganondorf. Fucking what a matchup. Anyway, back to SummerSlam. We're just sidetracked. What else happened at SummerSlam? Charlotte won the women's title because of course she did. Uh, Fucking bitch. Anyway, Edge beat Seth Rollins. Cool. He came out doing the Brood entrance as well, for no real reason. Jinder Mahal had a match with Drew McIntyre. I think Drew probably won. Yeah, there's not a huge amount to say about SummerSlam, unfortunately. The Reigns Cena match, from the bits and bobs of it I watched, was pretty good. I mean, it's as good as a Cena Reigns match is going to get, really. Yeah, SummerSlam. It was a pay-per-view. I remember we were actually saying originally we were going to do a full review of it like we did WrestleMania. But having now actually watched the pay-per-view, or some of the pay-per-view, it would just be us saying, yeah, the match was alright, wasn't it? Like, it's
Yeah.
nothing particularly interesting happened on it. But something did happen that was very interesting over in AEW. Because while WWE was having Brock Lesnar and Becky Lynch return, AEW one-upped them quite considerably by having CM Punk return to wrestling. He is now confirmed to have his debut match for All Elite Wrestling at AEW All Out against Darby Allin, who his gimmick is just that he's a fucking psychopath, and his finisher is he does he just drops backwards. He can't see where he's gonna land. He just drops backwards off the top rope onto you. Like, that could go very wrong very easily, and he just keeps doing it. Like, he's a mentalist. He does not care how badly he hurts himself, because he just does it for the entertainment purposes. But yes, CM Punk is in AEW. Are you excited for that, Joe? Will this make us finally watch AEW, do you think?
No. Just
Well,
no.
yeah.
I,
Yeah,
I,
no, you're right. You're right.
I, I,
I might watch All Out. Maybe.
I don't care who's competing. I just don't want to watch it. They could have fucking Santina Morella versus uh
Brodus Clay.
it's like the fucking British Bulldog or something. Just bring him back
He's
to life.
dead. I was gonna
I
say
wouldn't watch
he's
it.
been dead for 20 years.
I wouldn't watch it.
Well, I mean,
I just see CM Punk's like return, like, sort of intro coming out to ring. There
yeah.
wasn't a huge pop.
I think it's because the crowd wasn't particularly big.
They were just like, "Eh."
Yeah, well, maybe it's
And
because everybody knew it was gonna happen.
that's the thing. Like like if you compare it to like Edge coming back in.
Yeah, well, I think that again, that's more due to the size of the stadium, because like
True.
The Royal Rumble was in like a fucking 60,000 seater, whereas AEW Rampage was in like 12,000. So it's like a quarter of the size. Well, not even a quarter, a fifth of the size. So it's never going to be as loud. But yeah, I get what you mean. It was. I saw a lot of people on Twitter saying, "Oh, the crowd's, completely like lifting the fucking roof off." I didn't think they were very loud, personally. Maybe it just didn't convey very well on camera,
Yeah,
but I thought it was a bit quiet.
but no, I'm not too excited for CM Punk's return. Really, I mean, he was a good wrestler and all, but well, I guess
Yeah,
he is.
yeah.
Um,
I'm sure he still is.
but I just never really he was never really my cup of tea, I guess. So
Yeah.
I, I mean,
Well, like, I think it's cool. Like, don't get me
it
wrong.
is cool,
It's very
absolutely.
cool that he's returned.
I'm not
Uh,
excited for it
I
though.
just, I don't think anything is going to get me to watch AEW at this point, or like watch it like properly. I know as soon as you say on like Twitter, for example, like I can't be asked watching wrestling. People will be like, "Oh, you must be talking about WWE, and why don't you try watching AEW for a change, or watching Impact?" I don't want to though. That's the thing. Like, the last time I watched Impact was like 4 years ago, and I tried watching one when they were streaming it on Twitch. I think they still are actually, but I tried watching one when they're streaming it on Twitch, and it's just like it's just a big crap. I don't know anyone that's there except for Eric Young. The actual quality of the men's wrestling is pretty poor. The women's wrestling, to be fair, is good. Like, I'll give them that. But the men's wrestling quality is fairly poor. The production quality is very low. Like, why would I want to watch this? AEW, I can't be bothered watching because it's a lot harder to get in the UK. I just, I just don't care. Like, I barely care about WWE. I only really keep track of WWE so we have something to talk about on the podcast. Because it's still, strictly by its name at least, a wrestling podcast. Even though we've desperately tried to move away from it, but we can't think of a new name. Because the name was just perfect. But unfortunately the idea for the podcast wasn't. But yes, so CM Punk's return, it's very cool and all. I'm sure, in the words of Tony Schiavone, it's going to put some butts in seats. Unfortunately, just not mine and Joe's because we don't care.
Exactly.
But we'll go from something that we don't care about to something that we do care about with our second topic, which I'm sure Joe's probably got a fucking load to say about.
Oh,
Is
not good things.
oh,
You might be surprised here.
I am fucking few.
I've been sort of cheesed off this past week. I will be honest.
Oh, well, we are talking about, if you couldn't tell, the trailer for Spider-Man No Way Home. Now, Joe seems like he's chomping at the bit to start complaining about it. So I'll give you the floor, Joe, and you can say your piece.
Well, the film looks okay. It's definitely what a lot of people have done with the film is they've hyped it up quite a bit. Like, yeah, it's cool and all, like multiverse villains. We're not sure about multiverse heroes yet, so don't get your hopes up, folks. Um, it's just I feel like it was just a big disappointment for what was hyped up to be. Um, I mean, I'm not one to get my hopes up from leakers. So I wasn't expecting it to be great, but even then, you expected a bit of action in the trailer. All it was like the first few story beats of like just the setup of the story. Now, I don't want story in my trailer. We talked about this in the past, I'm pretty sure. I don't like story in my trailers. I like seeing what the film could be rather than what the film is. I just don't like story in my trailers. It pisses me off. But apart from that, I'm very excited for the villains. I hope they change some of the designs of the villains. Like you can see that they've changed the Doc Ock design a little bit.
Yeah,
He's no longer wearing a leather jacket. Um, so yeah, I hope they change
he's not wearing the flasher coat.
Green Goblin, and Lizard are the ones that I hope they change. Um,
No, no, you have to leave Green Goblin the exact same.
oh fuck off! No, he looks like Iron Man.
Yeah, exactly.
It's
Well,
awful.
it's more realistic though that he would be wearing like a big metal suit than like what do you propose he wears other than the big metal suit? Like what do you want to walk? Do you want him walking around in like a fucking purple potato sack like he does in the comics
I don't know
with a
what
big rubber mask
I don't
on?
know what I want, but I know what I don't want, and I don't want that metal suit.
I
I
like the
want
metal suit
I
personally. I
don't want
think
him
it's
to look like
quite
a goblin.
nice.
I don't
Well,
want him
that's
to
the
be like
idea.
a big green goblin walking around.
Well, okay. What about if he was just wearing like the body of the suit, but then not the helmet? What about that?
Yeah, exactly.
Like at the end of Spider-Man 1.
Brilliant. I would love that, but they're not doing it. So I reckon they'll do it for the full metal suit. And the lizard, I just want them to do like the CGI better, like what they've done with Abomination in Shang-Chi. Like
Yeah,
just
they're
change
just. Wait,
change
I
them a
was gonna
little
say
bit.
in Shang-Chi they've given Abomination like the gills and stuff they has in the story, not story, in the comics that they just forgot to give him in the original film.
Yeah, just like little CGI changes. Like they've got the budget for it now. They probably did back in the day. They probably just had a shit team working on it.
Yeah.
But yeah, they're the changes I want. I'll be honest. I don't really want the OG Spider-Man to play a big role in it. Uh, like maybe if they give some like advice to Peter,
Hey,
that would be
Peter.
cool. But um, yeah, I don't really want them in it, which is
Wow.
controversial to say, but I don't want it.
Wow. Wow.
It would actually probably make me storm out of the theater.
What? Andrew Garfield just goes up to him and goes, "Hey, it's me, Peter from the other universe," and then you just go, "Right, I've had enough of this shit."
It's gonna ruin it.
Rip up the
I
ticket.
like I like the other two Spider-Men, but keep them in their own bit. Like they don't need to be there
Yeah, they
for
do.
it to be a good film. They don't.
Yeah, they do.
Like they've had their time to shine. They made great films. Tom
Well,
Holland hasn't had
well,
that yet.
well, 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 well. One of
Well,
them was in good films.
mm, Andrew
The other,
Garfield,
the
eh.
other one was in The Amazing Spider-Man and The Amazing Spider-Man 2.
I mean, terrible Peter Parker, but I think that Tom
He was
Holland
crap.
hasn't had the chance to be a good Spider-Man. He's had the chance to be a good Peter Parker, but he's not had the
Yeah,
chance to be a good Spider-Man yet. And
I get that. I get that.
even in all the films he's been in, he's always had help.
Yeah,
Like I don't like that. Even in this one, he's having help from Doctor Strange. I hope Doctor Strange takes more of a backseat role.
but is it Doctor Strange?
Oh,
Ooh,
don't start with this. People
ooh.
say, "Oh,
Soup
it's
theory
out of
time.
character
Soup's
for
theory
Doc."
time.
Like, since when has being arrogant been out of Doctor Strange's character?
I was gonna say, like, he literally is just like I don't see how it's out of character because he does it in his own film where he just goes against what Wong says, and
Well,
I
that's
think
the
he's just
reason he
doing it to
became Doctor
prove.
Strange,
Yeah,
is
exactly.
because he's arrogant.
Well,
Like,
I think a part of it that a lot of people aren't realizing is he just likes to prove people wrong. Wong's like, don't do it because you probably can't do it properly, and he's like, well, I'll show him and I'll do it. Like
like we even see
it
in
is
like
in
Infinity
character.
War, he's like he says to Tony, like, we can't do this, we have to go back. You don't know what you're on about, really.
Yeah.
And it's just uh, it's not out of character for him to be an arrogant prick because that is his character. I
Yep.
would get it if we saw like some redemption in one of the films,
I
but
mean,
I think the Avengers films has just made him more arrogant because you see him
yeah,
say,
a
"We
little bit.
saved the world together." It's like, yeah, I saved
We.
the fucking world. I saved the world. That was my prediction. I knew that Tony Stark had to snap. I put the idea in his head.
Oh my god.
That you can see that in the trailer. It's not out of character at all. He's a prick, but I love him. Uh,
Mm,
but no, it's the fan theories ruin Marvel for me. It's on one
mm,
side you get the theorists who fucking coom every time they see like an arm
mm.
hair and they think it could be Charlie Cox. Um, that's another thing from the
Yeah,
trailer.
yeah. They're like cross-referencing people's arms to see whether that's Daredevil or not.
And then the
I mean,
other side you
I'd
get
love
the
it to
quote
be
unquote
Daredevil.
wonder stands.
I'd love it to be Daredevil. I will say because the Netflix Daredevil show is pretty good.
Again, I
And
don't want it to be a multiverse story.
if it gives us the Netflix version of Kingpin in the MCU, I'm all for that because the Netflix version of the Kingpin is actually really, really bloody good, and I'd actually like to see him in the MCU. However, I don't really care for like the rest of the Netflix verse characters. I thought Jessica Jones was a boring show. I thought Iron Fist was even worse. and Luke Cage was okay.
So
And then
how would you feel, right? Instead of like
I'd
the
like to see the Punisher
multiverse
actually.
happening, and like because some of these are already perfectly cast, like Charlie Cox, Daredevil,
Hmm.
um, and the Kingpin, of course. Forgot who played him. Um, is it Winston D. Ontario? Is that the fella? I feel like that's wrong though. But no,
I think so.
so how would you feel about instead of them coming through the multiverse? How would you feel about them just already existing in the universe, like sort of like a J. Jonah Jameson sort of thing? I
I
would prefer
mean,
that.
there's Vincent D'Onofrio is
Oh,
yeah.
Winston D. Ontario. Where am I getting that from?
To be fair, you're not too far
Is that
off.
a
Ontario,
person?
D'Ontario, D'Onofrio, vaguely the same.
I feel like I've probably only just
I
seen
think
it
you have
written
just. I
down.
think I was gonna say. I think you've just like made somebody up whose name reads quite similarly.
Yeah,
But yeah, well, I think that's a theory that's been around for quite a while, isn't it? That the Netflix verse characters have been a part of the MCU the whole time. They just haven't shown up.
I don't even want them to be like the actual like stories from
Mm.
the Netflix verse. I don't want that universe to take place in the same one as the MCU. I just want the same casting.
Yeah,
Not even for all the same people. Like some of them can change. I want
yeah.
Iron Fist to change. Iron Fist needs to look younger.
Iron Fist was like he was shite in the Netflix version. He was crap.
We
So
need a younger
I can
Iron
understand
Fist.
changing him out.
I would have liked a younger Shang-Chi, but I think Simu Liu can make it work.
Yeah, no,
Uh,
I think he, from what I've seen in like the trailers and stuff, seems like the perfect guy, really. Um, at least, yeah, obviously Shang-Chi in the comics he seems very different to the film version, but I think you have to realize a lot of the comic book versions are very different to their MCU counterparts because the MCU tries to make it a bit more like comedic and stuff, whereas Shang-Chi is quite a serious character in the comics, or at least from my
absolutely.
recollection.
It's just. I think he's a bit like middle age, whereas
Bit
Shang-Chi is
moist.
normally like a little bit younger. Not too young.
Yeah, no, I get you. I think this version of Shang-Chi is in like his mid-30s or something,
I guess it's going back
whereas,
to more of the comic book origins as to instead of more modern day. But
yeah,
it's only weird because they're bringing out more Shang-Chi comics now,
yeah, yeah. Well,
and,
I mean
where it's
that's what
it's
Marvel
younger.
do, though, isn't it? That's what Marvel
Yeah.
are sort of doing, though, isn't it?
I
Like
mean, the current runs are great, but they are good. I'm reading them at the minute.
I wouldn't know because I'm not, but I'm read a comic in fucking years.
But it's I don't know. It's just weird how they're doing it.
Yeah, yeah. Well, like, I mean, until they announce the film, I think there's an incredibly slim chance that I suppose I'll call them comic book normies. There's a very slim chance that I've heard of Shang-Chi. Like, I, at least back in the day, I was not. I was like a big fucking stinky comic book nerd. Like, I was reading fucking, like, what's the bloke from the Savage Island called?
Oh,
You know the one I'm on about, the Dinosaur Hunter. I was reading his comics back in the day. I genuinely was a fucking little rat nerd when it came to comics. Like, I was reading like Ultimate X-Men. I was reading fucking. I've still got like I've got the first 48 issues of Deadpool and Cable. Like, it's ridiculous.
uh,
What is that
n-
guy from? I can't
no.
remember the guy from Savage Island at all. But
Only person I'm thinking of is it Craven.
no, it's not Craven. I can't remember his name off the top of my head because it was a long time ago. As I said, that since I've read comics, but yeah, like to a lot of normies, they wouldn't have known who Shang Chi is. So I don't mind them bringing out a new line of Shang Chi comics to coincide with the film's release because it gives the normies that are getting into comics nowadays, somewhere to start, I guess. Because I think the first Shang-Chi series was in like the mid 70s or some crap like that, and Marvel's comics from the mid 70s weren't exactly of the highest caliber because that was after Jack Kirby had left for DC. So yeah, a big nosedive in quality. 70s was when we got the first part of the Spider-Man clone saga. So that says all you need to know, really. But yeah, back to No Way Home. Uh, I'm in a different boat to you here, really. I enjoyed the trailer. I enjoyed seeing, Gobby and well, we didn't explicitly see Gobby, but like,
The bomb.
yeah, we know he's there. And I enjoyed seeing Doc Ock because any movie with Alfred Molina is immediately a better movie. But yeah, like we've seen from the leaks, we've seen Electro is going to be in it. Sandman, I've heard, because obviously there's a couple of like scenes in the trailers where you see like there's a lot of sand. Apparently, that is indicative of the Sandman. I I don't know. Maybe?
You can see the lizard in the shot as well.
Yes. Well, it's very difficult to make out whether it is actually the lizard. Like it could be anything. Chances are it will be the lizard because it wouldn't make sense for it to be like Venom or anything.
Yeah, people are saying it's Venom, but I
I've
doubt
seen a lot
it's
of people
Venom
saying
because
that.
he's more of a hero
It
in the
depends which
Venom
version
film.
of Venom. Well, like it could be
Oh,
Venom
true.
from Spider-Man 3, not Venom from
But he's
Venom.
thinner.
Yes, yeah, and like if you use like all you use is brightness, the color of the big fucking glob you see in the background is just like brownish, which makes everyone think, oh yeah, it's
Yeah.
probably the lizard. Probably is the lizard, but like I think it's too early to say for definite. Oh yeah, that is the lizard because it could be anything. It could. I've seen rumors saying it could be the scorpion. Like
Uh,
who knows? Who
I
knows?
doubt it.
I was gonna say because like Scorpion is in the MCU
Hmm.
because obviously he's in Homecoming in like I guess like a cameo role. So it could be the Scorpion, but I doubt it. I think it probably will be the Lizard. Uh, what other villains were there? Obviously, Gobby's in it, and there are leaked photos of Willem Dafoe
Hmm.
on the set and stuff. Uh, apparently, and by apparently I mean it's been confirmed at this point that Michael Keaton will make a return as well. So we're either going to see him in like a cameo role of him still in prison, or Vulture's just going to get out. Um, yeah, like there's a lot of things that could happen, and I think it could
I think
sort of
there's too
lead
many
to a
villains.
yeah. I was about to say I think it could lead to a bit of a too many cooks situation where there's so many villains. I guess because a lot of these villains are like from films in the past where you won't have to like give them like all like establishment and stuff. Other than like obviously like a little bit saying, oh, this is, Green Goblin from 2002, from this Peter Parker's universe or whatever. I guess it's a little better than if they were all like brand new villains and then you're having to like establish each and every one of them. That would take up like fucking half an hour of the film, and the film is supposed to be 2.5 hours, according to the leaked timestamps of it. But yeah, I think this film is definitely going to suffer from too many cooks because obviously, if the rumors are true, we're going to get 3 Spider-Man, a minimum of like 5 or 6 different villains, and then you've got the whole plot of Peter trying to get his identity back as well. Like it sounds like there's a lot going on, and
I think they could easily take it down, like take down the villains in this. Like if we assume that they are getting all three Spider-Man, Daredevil, and Doctor Strange, and we're
I
gonna
think
assume that it's the
I don't
Sinister
right.
Six,
I think it's not going to
it's gonna be
be
fucking
Dare.
easy.
Yeah, I mean, like, I don't think it's going to be Daredevil. I think we're going to get Matt Murdock, but he won't be Daredevil in this. I think they're going to establish Matt Murdock in the universe as, obviously Matt
Yeah,
Murdock
could
becomes
do.
Daredevil. He won't be Daredevil in the film, I don't think. I think that's too much because you've got to then establish him. Like, he. I, he's a character that would probably need more establishing than all the villains and like all the other Spider-Men that are going to come in. And I don't think they want to waste. I don't think they've got enough time to waste from like all the stuff we've seen of it so far. They haven't got enough time to waste on trying to establish Daredevil because
I guess
obviously
so.
the Netflix Daredevil is a much smaller viewer base than the past Spider-Man films. So
But
I think
all right,
the final battle is going to come down to probably a Sinister Six built up of villains from the past. So I think likelihood
against
is,
the
I
four of
think
Doctor Strange and the three Spider-Man.
chances are right. We're going to get one for Tom Holland Peter, one villain for Tom Holland Peter, whether that be Vulture breaks back out, or whether it is the Scorpion, or I don't know, maybe even the Prowler. So, I
Yeah,
don't
I
know,
like the Prowler.
whatever, right? Probably going to get three for Toby, I think, because obviously we already know we're getting Doc Ock and Green Goblin. I think chances are Sandman, because there is a lot of sand in the trailer. I think that probably will lead to the Sandman being in it. So we'll get Sandman, Ock, Goblin for Maguire villains, and then Garfield will probably get Lizard and Electro.
Well, did
So
this Sandman die in the third film? Because it
not
could be a new
sort of. What I
it
mean,
could be a new Sandman
to be
if we think
fair,
about it.
both Green Goblin and Doc Ock died in the Maguire verse.
That's
So
that's what I mean because Kevin
it,
Feige, I think it was
I
Kevin
haven't.
Feige, said that they've been taken from when they died, like all the
Yes,
villains.
like I think that's what it could be. Sandman probably is taken from before like the big final fight against Venom, because he doesn't technically die in Spider-Man 3. He just sort of like blows away in the wind.
Okay,
Like
I was just gonna say because it could be a new Sandman, which would be cool.
I I'd be
But
surprised if it was a new Sandman, because the way MCU like to establish new villains is they like to spend like fucking 20 minutes to half an hour trying to bring them in. So I don't think they would just all of a sudden just spring, another new villain on us like that. I'd be surprised if it wasn't the old Sandman. If it is even Sandman at all, it could be another villain completely, and it's just coincidental
yeah,
that there's all that sand.
could just be someone. Could be Doctor Strange fighting Electro with
I
like
was
the
gonna
fucking
say,
the winds of
yeah, I was
Platoon.
gonna say maybe they're just fighting in a desert. I mean, they weren't,
Exactly.
but maybe they're fighting next to a beach. I don't
Well,
know.
we do see a train goes through a desert, so
Yeah, maybe they just got a
could
load
be
of
like a
sand from
train
there.
line.
Yeah, maybe.
Who knows? It looked like a shopping mall, though.
Uh,
So,
a little bit,
a little bit.
little bit.
But, but
Uh,
no, so I think they could easily take down the Sinister Six, though, with Doctor Strange
oh
and the three
yeah,
Spider-Men. That'll be
I
easy.
yeah. I mean, I feel like the final fight probably won't have Strange in it. I think that what they'll want to do is they'll want to do the three Spider-Men take on the Sinister Six.
What's going on with the magic suit for Spider-Man? I don't.
Yeah, right. So from what we know, obviously the magic suit is going to be in the film. And in the trailer, I believe there's like one like second long clip where you can see him wearing a black suit, which I'm assuming is probably the magic suit. So I think what they're trying to do is, even though we already know the suit is going to be in the film, I think they're sort of pretending like we don't, and they're gonna make it like a big reveal in the next trailer, or they're gonna have the past Spider-Man show up in the next trailer or something. Because I think that's the way they're working with this, is they're sort of drip feeding us surprises in each trailer. Like this first one confirms to us, Alfred Molina's in it, and there's all this like multi-universe stuff, right? I think they're gonna do like what they did with Civil War, because obviously Spider-Man was shown off in the second Civil War trailer, not the first. I think the second trailer for this is gonna show off some like big nutty revelation, like Garfield and Maguire, or Spider-Man's new suit, or something along those lines.
Yeah, I agree with you. I feel like they'll be silly to not put them in a trailer
Mm.
because
Mm.
they could easily make billions
Oh yeah.
if they put it
Oh
in the
yeah.
trailer. It'll just be ridiculous if they don't, because obviously we saw with Civil War, people probably were just going for that film just for Spider-Man.
Yeah.
Like that was probably a big selling point of it.
Yeah.
Um, so yeah, to leave it down to like a surprise in the film, stupid move, I think. So
Yeah.
if it's there at all, I mean, it probably is, but
I
we
mean,
still
yeah.
don't know.
Like we all know that they're in the film, and in a role. It's they could just pull like a fucking switcheroo on us, and they're not in it as Spider-Man. They're just in there as like fucking cameo extras or some shit. Like, you could like flash back in time for MCU Peter and see him with Aunt May. Guess what? Uncle Ben is Tobey Maguire. Bam! Big reveal.
Yeah.
Like,
I mean, for as much evidence there is, like that they are in the film, there
yeah,
is
like, well,
also
like I was gonna
evidence
say,
that they're
like,
not. Like,
I
because
was,
Tobey Maguire hasn't acted in years. He's been doing more behind the screen roles, and Andrew
yeah,
Garfield.
yeah, he's been in a couple films. Yeah, was it
Yeah, but
Hancock
I
he was
mean,
in?
like he's he sort of said he wasn't, but
Yeah.
where people are
Well,
sort
I
of
mean,
interpreting that he is,
to
he
be
was just
fair,
like
there was
sort
a
of
guy
smiling about
there
it.
was a guy who I can't remember the name of. I think it was like JB Smooth or something. Who
Awesome name.
it's a slick name. Who is in the film? Uh, so I think he was at a red carpet for some other film he's in, and he pretty much said at this red carpet, they were talking to him about No Way Home, and he's like, "Oh yeah, I can't wait to see Toby and Andrew back in the Spider-Man suits." He just like completely gave it away.
Oh yeah.
So
I see who he is now. He's the teacher, isn't
yes, yeah,
he? Okay.
and you know, I mean, the guy is in the film, and he's saying, "Oh yeah, I can't wait to see them back in the film."
But would he be in a scene with them?
Well, I mean,
I can't
like,
see it happening.
yeah,
You
but
might. You know what
if the
Marvel are
guy,
like
if the
with
guy
leaks.
is the guy is literally in the film, so like you would know who else is in the cast, wouldn't you? He could just be trolling, which would
He
be
could be
really funny.
trolling.
It'd be really funny if he is trolling.
But we know what Marvel are like with like
Yeah,
they give out fake scripts.
they do. Well, I mean, they do to like Tom Holland
They do with everyone
for
apart.
their
Like for
for their
Infinity
own
War,
safety. For their own safety.
they made like a
Uh,
million scripts. The
yeah,
writing staff on that on like the Marvel films, they must be fucking minted, having to create like 6 scripts.
yeah.
Fucking hell, you need to get into that. I'll tell you what. Secure the
Honestly,
bag.
mate, if I get in there, bro, Tom Holland's gonna make me a fucking fat paycheck just because he
What
can't
what
keep his fat mouth shut.
one film and you'll
Yeah,
be
I'm up to seven figures,
set for life.
mate. I'm on
But
seven figures after 2 leaks from Tom Holland.
the funny thing is, he doesn't even know how much he's spoiled, but he has.
Yeah,
It's
I
honestly
remember.
immense.
I think it was like before Endgame. Like people, I remember people were making their memes about whether he'd like actually spoiled the film or something, and he himself thought that he had because he actually believed the memes. Like it was ridiculous.
Mark
Like
Ruffalo is a good
him
idea.
and Mark Ruffalo are awful for telling anything. Like they will leak it, whether you want them to or not.
It's funny because fucking Mark Ruffalo spoiled Infinity War, everyone dying, but no one believed him.
Yeah, yeah. Like looking back on it, bro just had no chill. Like he didn't care. It's
But
great.
no, so
But yeah,
I,
No Way Home. I think it's gonna be probably a good film.
I'm
Like,
on the fence as to whether the other Spider-Men are in it, but we'll see.
yeah. I mean, like, it's gonna be a good film, innit? Like, it'd be
I mean, I
hard to
think
make it a
people are
bad
already
film.
going to watch it anyway. It's going to be
Oh yeah.
fully packed.
The film could be 2.5 hours of Peter Parker just fucking twerking, and like, I'd go just to see if there's a chance that Tobey Maguire starts twerking as well. Like, they could just pull like a fucking fakie on us, and I
They
wouldn't
just like
care. I'd
start
still
with
go
like
see
some
it.
like hardcore BDSM sex, and you're just like, what the fuck have I
And then
signed up to?
I go in. I'm like, but is Green Goblin gonna come out? Just keep.
Spider-Man, have my
Well,
goblin ball.
Spider Man,
Stop having sex. I'm trying to kill you. Ah.
they'll turn on you, Spider Man.
Oh my god!
Uh,
Like Doc Ock shows up. He's just like, "Hey, Spider-Man,
he go, he
it,
goes,
it's
"Hey,
it's
Spider
time.
Man,
It's time. I've got eight
no,
legs and eight dicks." And he just like starts using
hello,
his robot arms, starts like
hello,
stripping
Peter,
off.
hello, Peter. Did you drop a roll of $20 bills with a rubber band? Because I found the rubber band." That's the best joke in the entire franchise. That it just like comes out of nowhere. He's just like, "Oh, before we start this like massive, potentially life-altering scientific event, did anybody lose a roll of $20 bills?"
So we found the rubber band.
Found the rubber band.
Oh, that's
Fucking
great.
genius, mate. Unreal. Uh,
Anyways,
yes. So, uh, No Way Home. I think it'll probably be pretty good. So we'll move on to our third topic. Talking of pretty good. Third topic is the new Kanye West album that, at the time of recording, dropped yesterday at like probably this time yesterday. It dropped actually, maybe like an hour before. Yeah, Donda dropped just out of nowhere on Sunday. We were all anticipating it to be a September release because that's what it said on the actual pre-order. It said releases September the 6th, 2021. But no, they just dropped it out of nowhere on Saturday. I suppose it'd be afternoon for us. It was 8 a.m. Sunday, 8 a.m. on a Sunday for the US. So that's right in time for church. And yeah, so I managed to get Joe to listen to it. Didn't
I
take
must
it.
preface, I didn't finish all of it.
Where'd you get up to at least?
Hang on, let me get my Spotify up. I was literally listening to it like 30 minutes before we started the podcast. But
Yeah,
I've just been slowly trickling songs. I can't sit down and listen to the full album
yeah,
at
that's fair
once.
enough.
Uh,
I mean, I'll be honest. I didn't listen to the full thing
Get loads, you
immediately.
bastard. A minute. Sorry about this, folks. Believe what I say.
Believe what I said. How far in is that? That's only like song 10.
Fucking, I'm sorry.
Bloody hell! You got another 17. First, you're actually missing like half the good songs. You know. Well, I say that you've got about four of the best songs from the album.
Well, my opinion will determine why I won't be continuing with the album.
Uh,
Um,
is it probably
I
something to do
don't,
with song number 9?
can I just get this out there? You know,
It's not. It's not
we
your
like different
genre of
music.
music. Yeah, it's not. It's not your genre.
You know, I'm sure if I sat you down to play one of my favorite albums, you'll probably beat me up. Um,
Try and make me listen to the fucking Hamilton soundtrack. I'll fucking roundhouse kick you,
oh,
mate.
I don't even listen to that
If I can
rubbish.
prove that I didn't touch my balls.
But no, I just honestly I found it really boring.
Wow.
I didn't like it. Um, I did see a TikTok about it. The general consensus is people aren't liking it. Although that's
Is
just what
it?
I'm seeing.
I was gonna say, like, it is number one in 130 different countries right now. So I don't think that is the general
That's not
consensus.
always because they like it though. I've
Well, I
like
mean, if people are buying it, then that would indicate people like it, wouldn't it?
no, not necessarily. They could just be
Well,
buying it
why
to
would?
listen to it. Like
But you can get it for free on streaming services.
yeah, but
Well, with streaming
people
services.
don't normally do that. Like you see them fucking vinyl people. It's like, oh, it's just a
Well,
proper way to listen to
there's not
music.
actually there's not a physical release of it just yet. It's digital only at
Oh
the
well,
minute.
oh fair enough then. But
So people are going out of their way to buy like the Apple Music, like the iTunes album, and whatnot. But
but
yeah, it's
no,
number
I
number
just saw a
one.
lot of people saying like, oh, people only think it's good because it's Kanye West. Um, but no, I just didn't like it. It's not my sort of thing. If I wanted to listen to like songs based on Christianity, I would have stayed at my primary school. Um, like I just can't. It's not my scene. It's not my thing.
Yeah,
Um, for every Kanye West Christian album, I'm listening to the Lil Nas X,
there's
um,
only like two.
jerking off men and in a prison shower and
I mean, like
swinging the dick around and
in
stuff.
terms of actual like Christian themed albums, there's only the one, and that's Jesus is King. This is more about his mother.
Still, it was. I felt like a lot of it was sort of like there was a lot of instrumental during a lot of it.
That is
Um,
his thing. He does
I
do that a lot.
guess, but I feel like a lot of it could have just been like cut out. You know, for every like repeating instrumental, I was just like, oh fucking get on. Why is this song 5 minutes?
Because
Uh,
you got to listen to the instrumental, mate.
I just didn't
I listen
like
to
it.
the
It's not
full
my thing,
instrumental.
but I couldn't even name like a favorite song of mine to be honest, because I wasn't really looking at my phone when I was listening to it.
Not even the one with the weekend on.
What was the one with the weekend? Have I listened to that one?
Hurricane, song number 5.
I did like that one to be fair.
That's because it got the weekend on.
That was probably it. But no,
It does very well on the song. His
I will
verses
try
are
and get
good.
through it. I'll let you all know next week if I went back for a second listen.
Mm,
Um, but I probably wouldn't.
yeah. I mean, yeah, that's your opinion.
I mean, God Breathe didn't really like that one. Jail was okay. The start
Jail's
of it
good.
was bad,
Jail's good. I
but
like Jail.
towards the end, I was just like, oh, I like this one.
Yeah, it got to the Jay-Z verse, and you were like, actually, this is alright.
Yeah, but no, that's.
I'm moving to jail tonight.
But anyways, what do you think? Actually, being a Kanye West
Yeah, so
fanatic,
well, fanatic is a strong word. A Kanye West enjoyer, perhaps.
it just
Um,
reminded me like that being that average Kanye West enjoyer.
yeah,
Just a Chad.
mega Chad, mate. Yeah, so I've had a chance to listen to the full album through probably twice now. Maybe 3 times. A couple of the songs I listened to quite a few times. Some of them less so. I think I can. It'll be easier for me to list the songs I don't like than the songs I do like. The ones I don't like, both versions of Junya. I think I don't know what it is, but I do not vibe with Junya. I think part two is better than the first version, mainly because part two's got that additional verse at the end, which improves it somewhat, but it's still not great. Television kind of stinks. Donda Chant, I mean, Donda Chant is an 11 out of 10 for me personally. But well, yeah, as a joke, of course. On a serious level, Donda Chant is literally just someone saying Donda for 2 minutes. So make of that what you will. I'm not a huge fan of OK OK either. I think that was like kind of meh. I think the ones I would say are my favourites on the album. Both Jail and Jail Part 2 I think are great. Off the Grid I didn't like originally, but having listened to it a couple more times since, I think it's starting to grow on me. Hurricane is another one I like a lot. Believe What I Say, absolute slapper. What a tune. 24's pretty good. Moon is good. Come to Life. I really like the instrumental to Come to Life. I'm not a huge fan of the lyrics. No Child Left Behind is alright. There anything else? Jesus Lord, I didn't care much for. Donda, sort of just a. It's just a clip of his mum speaking at a public event. To be honest with you, Remote Control is okay as well. Jonah was alright. I can't actually remember God Breathed off the top of my head. Yeah, like maybe I'm not painting the best light for the album, but like I think if I listen to it a couple more times, I'll sort of let it marinate a little bit. Maybe I'm a little influenced by recency bias. I do think it is a very good album comparative to some of his other ones. I think. I mean, it feels a lot like my personal favorite Kanye album, which is The Life of Pablo. In terms of like stylistically, it seems very similar. I would say Life of Pablo is better still. Um, I don't dislike. I don't like actively dislike any songs on this album apart from Junya. Like Junya, like I say, I don't know what it is. I just do not get on with it. I think Carti's actually pretty terrible on Junya. I don't like his verse, and I'm not a fan of Kanye's verse on Junya either. But yeah, if I were to rank it in terms of like where I'd put it in the 10, I'd probably put it towards the top end, maybe second, maybe third. Um, right now, Life of Pablo stays at the top, and it's between this and My Beautiful Dark Twisted Fantasy for what I'd put in second. I think the strong suits of this are on par with My Beautiful Dark Twisted Fantasy, but like the low points are a fair bit lower. Like the worst songs on My Beautiful Dark Twisted Fantasy are just kind of mid. Junya on this, I think, is abjectly bad. I just don't enjoy it at all. Like I listen to it. It's the only song on this album that I actively skip when it comes on, other than like Donda Chant and Television, which are more like not really songs, sort of just like transitions, I guess. I mean, Donda Chant is literally just a woman saying Donda repeatedly for like 2 minutes. But yeah, um, in terms of the expectations I set for the album, I didn't think it was going to be like this fucking world-ending, ridiculous magnum opus piece. I don't think many people did. I know there are a lot of people I follow on Twitter are big Kanye fans. Or well, I say big Kanye fans. They are Kanye fans, and like I saw a lot of them tweeting about the album when it first dropped, and they're all going like, "Oh, it's a 9 out of 10, 10 out of 10." I think they're going a bit overboard. I think it's definitely recency bias towards the new album, and a lot of people were annoyed that it never seemed like he was actually going to drop it, and then obviously he did, and there's sort of a lot of people seem to be thinking like, oh, there's no bad songs in this album, and I'm trying to keep it as real as possible. There are bad songs in the album. You know, it's a 27 song album. it'd be very difficult to do 27 songs on an album and then all of them be bangers. Like, I would say like half of them are probably like top tier, but then like it does sort of nosedive pretty fast after that point. Like there's a lot of mid on this album. I think songs like Jesus Lord, Keep My Spirit Alive, and Pure Souls are kind of mid. But then you've got songs like Come to Life, uh, Believe What I Say, 24, Hurricane, Jail, both parts 1 and 2, and even Off the Grid, that are like, I would say they're very good songs. I just think realistically, maybe it's underwhelming a little bit. For me, I think it's still a good album. Obviously, with it being the first major release he's had since Jesus is King, which for a lot of people, including myself, was a letdown. Um, I guess it's a redemption. Like, it's a much better album than Jesus is King. Jesus is King was. It's a better album than even Ye was before Jesus is King. It feels like a proper Kanye album again. Like, the last two have felt a bit off, and I know that's mostly because of his mental state, and even his mental state during the creation of this album has been all over the place. But this album feels a lot more like a collaborative effort than his past two have. You hear it in the songs. Like, almost every single song on this album has at least one or two features. Uh, and it feels less like a Kanye album, more like a rap album by Kanye. Like, he's got everybody on this album. He's got Jay-Z. He's got well, he hasn't actually got Lil Uzi Vert. He's got Jay-Z. He's got Carti. He's got Cudi. He's got Don Toliver. He's even got Ariana Grande on this album. Like, this is like when he got Sia to feature on Wolves. Like, it's ridiculous. Like, it feels like a big event because there's so many names attached to this. Like, he managed to just barely slip DaBaby in there on part 2 of Jail. Like, it's like, it's very different to the last two albums because the last two felt like he was pushing people away, whereas this one he's actively accepting people, and he's got all these features on it. He was supposed to have a Soulja Boy feature apparently, but he never used it. Soulja Boy tweeted himself that he'd sent Kanye. Excuse me. He'd sent Kanye some clips to be used on songs that were eventually cut from the album. Apparently, he was supposed to be the original feature on Junya, which I don't believe at all because Junya alleged. I'm fairly certain Junya and Off the Grid both leaked like months and months ago, and they both had Carti on there instead. So I don't know. Travis Scott's on here as well. On I think it was Praise God. He's a bit underwhelming on this. I think most of the features on this are pretty good, but Travis is surprisingly limited in what he does, as is Kid Cudi. Chance the Rapper just got cut completely from the album, which is quite funny. There's a couple singles as well that released before the album that I thought would have made it on. Na Na Na, for example. Na 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 got taken off the App Store completely. Not the App Store, sorry. Apple Music, Spotify, Google Play Music, or whatever. Like, it's been removed from pretty much everything. And a lot of people thought, oh, well, that means he's gonna make it part of the album, right? No. No, I think he just doesn't want anyone to listen to Na 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 because it's a bit shit. Which I would agree with. It stinks. I mean, the DaBaby remix is even worse. so I can understand getting rid of that one first. But yeah, back to Donda, the album itself, though. I'd probably put it second or third, as I said. It does a good job of trying to stick to one like overarching theme, which is a problem he sort of had a couple times. Like Jesus King, he managed to stick to the theme of Christianity because the whole thing was about Christianity, and Ye was all about like his mental illness. But like Life of Pablo, there's not really like a huge theme to it. It sort of seems like just a big collection of songs, vaguely about Kanye's experiences, like No More Parties in LA, Saint Pablo, um, Real Friends. They all feel like, yeah, this is something that's happened in his life. And then you got stuff like Wolves, which it doesn't really have a theme particularly. At least I can't think of one. Like this feels like it sticks a lot closer to the connection Kanye had with his mother. Like, I think 24, like, is all about how. Well, it's 24. 24 is all about like how Kanye's belief in God helped get him through, the death of his mother and stuff, and like how religion, Christianity, and stuff can help you get through hard times. Uh, Stuff like that, it's keeping to a sort of central theme. So I guess Joe, you are right in saying it's like Christian themed. I guess because it's a heavy theme because that's obviously his religion. He's been a very heavily religious man his entire life because his mother was, uh, and his mother taught him to be, a practicing religious Christian because it's the best way to keep him off the streets, I guess. He's growing up in Chicago with no money. His father left before he was born, or his father died. Sorry, before he was born. Rather, I sort of worded that poorly. His father died before he was born, so yeah, he didn't have a father figure. His mother was having to, work two jobs just to keep him and her safe. And yeah, you know, you go back to the start of his career, like his first album, Jesus Walks, was the biggest song on that album. And that's all about him not being allowed to speak about his religion over the radio, but then he's calling out the hypocrisy of radio stations for allowing songs about, sex and drugs and crime and all that. You know, he, yeah, the religious overtones are very heavy in this album because he's a very religious man. And in the last couple of years, he's become a lot more religious. After his initial mental breakdown back in 2016. Christianity and religion is helping him through that, I guess. So it would make sense that a lot of his songs tie into that. Obviously, like I say, it's because his mother was also heavily as well, and she raised him to be heavily religious. Yeah. Anything else I have to say about the album? There'll probably be a deluxe edition released featuring a couple of the songs he cut. I hope that it doesn't include the Marilyn Manson song he's got, because that motherfucker does not need any more money. Yeah, like I enjoyed the album quite a lot. I think maybe give me another week or so, my opinion maybe changes on a couple of songs and stuff. But overall, I really enjoyed the album. I think it shows Kanye's not back to his best, but he's adapting, I guess. He's used this as like a collaborative event to help spread, more up and coming rappers. Like, obviously, DaBaby's got a song on the album now. Travis isn't really an up and coming rapper, but he's got a song on the album. Carti's got songs on the album. Yeah, the fact he got Ariana Grande on the album, I think, is ridiculous. But yeah, I think it's from my opinion. Obviously, it would be very different to Joe's because Kanye is. I'm biased towards him. He's my favorite artist of the last 20 years. Of course, I was always going to say it's good, but like, if I was, I'd still be honest and I'd say like whether songs are bad, and I have. I do think there are some misses on the album, but mostly it's a very very solid piece. Was it worth the 2 years we had to wait? Probably not, but it's good. I give it like a go in my Anthony Fantano mode. I'd give it like an 8.5, maybe a 9, maybe a 9.
I wouldn't say that I found any of the songs on the album bad. I would sort of just say I didn't really, they weren't really my thing.
Yeah, I get that.
You know,
Except for Donda Chan.
I love that one. Oh,
Donda Chan's a
I
banger.
found that hilarious.
I love Donda Chan. It's like the fucking poopity. You know what you should have listened to? Song number 12, Remote Control. Like the last 10 seconds of it. Just listen to the last 10 seconds of it. I promise you, you will not regret it. Like it's funny, bro. Trust me.
I'll have to check
Fun
that
fact,
one out.
actually, I've got a little fun fact before we move on from Donda. The In the second listening party, he had a version of a song. I can't remember which one it was, but there was a version of one of his songs that actually included a sound effect taken directly from Roblox. I'm not kidding you. Let's see which one it was, because I can't remember what it was. New Again. It was New Again, which is number 18. They've taken it out since, which is unfortunate. But yeah, apparently there was like a fucking death noise from Roblox if you listen very carefully.
Oof.
Yeah. That.
Sorry, you got to make the sound. It's like a rule.
Oof. But yeah, there you go. Fun fact. He cut both Marilyn Manson and Roblox. But yeah, listen to Remote Control. I mean, you can listen to the full thing if you want. It's a pretty good song. But it's the last like 10-15 seconds that'll really tickle your pickle. But yes, we'll move on from Donda to our midpoint of the show, which normally would be top or flop, but because we've got so much to talk about and so much stuff to cover, I thought we'd just leave out top or flop this week. And we'll talk about everybody's favourite, not E3 games presentation, Gamescom. Yeah.
It was shit. Let's be honest. Let's not hype it up.
It was rubbish.
I mean, I don't think anyone
nothing.
expected it to be good.
Yeah.
Like, if you went into Gamescom expecting good game reveals, then
yeah, you go into Gamescom expecting it to be E3. Yeah, all right, mate, calm down.
Gamescom has never been about reveals. It's always been about.
It's more about just like showcasing gameplay, isn't it?
Exactly.
More just showing us what we already know.
I mean, to put it briefly, the only things that I'm excited for is
Nickelodeon All-Star Brawl.
Not even that.
What? You're not excited for Nickelodeon All-Star Brawl? Oh my
come
god!
on,
This man doesn't want to play All-Star Brawl. I can't believe
everyone's
this.
gonna buy it, spend the money on it.
I'm gonna get it. I'm getting it. I'm getting it for the next gen, bro. Getting it 60 frames.
And then no one's gonna play it after a week.
I will. I will, mate. Mate,
No, what?
it's
No,
the fucking Smash Killer.
it's not a Smash Killer.
Yeah, it is, mate. They've got fucking Cat Dog from
The
Cat
the,
Dog.
the minute it released, the
They've got
minute it
Cat Dog from
releases,
Cat Dog,
sorry,
bro.
the
Wait
final
till they
Smash
do,
character is gonna come out,
mate.
and
Wait till
everyone's
they
gonna.
announce the DLC for it, and it's Tough Puppy from Tough Puppy, right?
Ugh.
It's gonna be Plankton in the robot Mr. Crab suit he wears, where he goes, ravioli, ravioli, give me the password, Oli. I think that's what he says.
I mean, I doubt it's gonna
No,
be a
secret
Smash
formula.
Killer.
It will, mate.
People said that
Smash
about like
Ultimate in the mud.
Brawlhalla.
Smash Ultimate in the mud.
I mean, hey,
I mean,
would I
Smash
like?
Ultimate's been in the mud for years, but we move.
I would like to see a Smash, like another Smash game around, like a different company. Nickelodeon sort of isn't my scene. I didn't watch a lot of TV when I was younger.
Shonen
Uh,
Jump one. There was Shonen Jump one. You get Goku versus um, Naruto, but in Smash.
well, they already did that, didn't they?
Yeah, it was crap. It was on the GameCube, wasn't it? It was like it only had Dragon Ball,
No,
Naruto, and One
recently.
Piece.
No,
Oh,
no, no. Actually, that
recently.
wasn't like a Smash one. That was more like
Oh, Jump Force, do you mean? It was like the arena
yeah,
one.
that was
Yeah,
more like a
I
Mortal
played
Kombat one.
I've played that. I've played that and it's oh baby, but I played it on last gen on an Xbox One. And bear in mind this game was developed for last gen. Or well, is it last gen? Yeah, well it is technically last gen now. Uh I say well, thing is it's really weird because I call it last gen, but I also call like the Series X and PS5 next gen. But technically that's current gen. Like it,
Yeah, it's gonna take a while. Well,
yeah.
we're a year in nearly.
Yeah, I think once it's like established, like once people are making games just for PS5 and Series X, I think that's when I start calling it current gen. Because people are still making games for last gen, like a year after.
Yeah. But no, so the only reveals that I was sort of excited for is like the Midnight Suns game
Lego
because
Star Wars.
it's gonna be like well it's literally XCOM with
Ugh.
Marvel, which is like a perfect game for me.
XCOM.
Oh wow. But yeah, I
What
think
about
that's
Lego
gonna be
Star
pretty good.
Wars?
And yeah,
Not sure for that.
well Lego Star Wars was in a reveal.
No, but
That's
we
just
actually got a vague release window for it, which
and
made
honestly
me very
the
angry.
only trailers I really liked was fucking Star Wars.
Yep. I mean, it's the only trailer anyone wanted to see, wasn't it? And
Yeah,
then
pretty much.
it just made me sad because the game was supposed to come out June 2021. Now it's spring 2022. I mean, the gameplay looked cool. Like we actually got gameplay, which was nice. I'm not sure if I'm a big fan of it all being over the shoulder, like it looks like it's going to be. But like, I think it's really cool that you can travel to all of the planets. Like that,
Yeah, that looks pretty
there was
cool.
like 20 different planets you could travel to. That looks cool. Um, it also looks like they're like adding their own voice acting to cutscenes as well. Because like if you watched like there were a couple of clips, like there was some on Dagobah where Luke was saying stuff, and it very clearly wasn't Mark Hamill.
Yeah.
Like even on some of the clips for like the Last Jedi and stuff, you could hear it definitely wasn't Mark Hamill. I don't know what the problem with that would be though, because I'm sure Mark Hamill would come in to do some like voiceover.
I mean, yeah, it's not like he's got any other things going
I
on.
was going to say Mark Hamill literally since Star Wars has made a career from being a voiceover artist. Like the guy's second most famous role is playing the Joker in Batman the Animated Series. So I you know you could get him to come in and do a couple like extra lines for you rather than getting someone to come in and do an imitation of it. Like I don't really get that, but Whatever.
I mean, I guess so. I mean,
Yeah.
getting Harrison Ford to get involved, that's a different fucking story.
Oh yeah, Harrison Ford would not do it under it. He'd be like, "What the fuck is a Lego?
You want me to act in this game?
What? What do you mean? Wait, I'm not on camera. Does that mean I can get high?" Yeah.
Uh,
Well, I
I
mean,
got into an argument with my dad actually because he was just like, "Well, they've already got they're just gonna be used with the same levels. They're just gonna be upgraded." I'm just like, "No,
no,
it's
they
not a
won't.
remake."
They're building it from the ground up. They're not
That's
using
what I
all the same
said.
levels.
And I was just, he was just like, "Yeah, it's just gonna be the same game, but with upgraded graphics." And I'd be like, "What do you mean the fucking same game? There's not been a game with all the fucking films in. What are you on about?" I was getting so angry with him.
I do think that they're probably gonna like. I was about to say copy. They'll probably try to not copy per se, but like do an homage to certain levels. Like I think you know episode 1 level 1 from the complete
Yeah,
saga. I feel like they'll try and do an homage to that because like that's the level everybody knows.
I
So I feel
mean,
like there's not a lot they need to change for that because like that's probably the best way to do an opening for episode
to be
1.
fair, that is probably like the perfect level.
Yeah, so like chances are they'll probably like expand the level a little bit because the actual level only takes about fucking it takes less than 5 minutes to do if you know what you're doing. Like I remember I was doing it when I because I tried to 100% the game. I'm on like 98%. When I first beat the stage, I didn't bother like taking my time with it. I literally just like speed ran through the level and got it done in about 2 minutes. Because as soon as you know what you're doing, you can just speed run the level. Super easy. Because it's very linear. So I'm sure they'll like expand the level at least somewhat. Because it is very small. I think what they'll do is they'll sort of just add like a couple little bits to it and then call it a day. But yeah, what else was there at Gamescom? I don't think Nintendo showed anything off. I mean, it's not like they've got a lot to show off. Like, what have Nintendo really got? They've got Metroid Dread coming out. They've got WarioWare, the new Mario Party game as well. That's about it. But yeah,
Yeah, they didn't really
yeah.
show anything.
I'm surprised Ubisoft didn't try and show off some of that fucking Rainbow Six zombie game that they've got. Because they
Oh
certainly
god,
spent their sweet time showing it off at E3.
that's half the presentation.
Yeah, it looks okay. I'm not going to play it, but it looks
But if you want
okay.
to hear more about that, go listen
Yeah,
to
go
our
listen to our E3 special.
E3 special.
Yeah.
Gotta get the thumbs up. Thumbs up,
Mm.
guys.
Yeah,
E3 special.
leave a like if you like Fortnite. Uh, but yeah, to be honest, there's not really a lot else to talk about for Gamescom. It was boring.
Hmm.
Like it was just a load of indie games nobody cares about, and then one indie game that everybody cares about in Nickelodeon All Star Brawl, and then nothing else. Well, Lego Star Wars as well, but hey, I can't. I actually do want to play All Star Brawl. Like it does look good from the
Oh,
gameplay they've shown. And
Jesus.
mate, it's got a good roster, right? I
I
mean,
don't give
yeah,
a shit about Nickelodeon.
there's a lot of Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles in there. Well,
I don't give a
you don't care about
fuck.
SpongeBob. You don't care about Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles.
No.
Oh my day. What? So okay. So if they remade like Cartoon Network Punch Time Explosion XL, would you care then?
No.
You don't care about Cartoon Network either. Fucking Ben 10. You could
The
put
only thing I
adventure.
watched
You
at
could put
school was
Adventure
Ben
Time
10.
in there. You could put Adventure Time in there. You could put
Didn't
regular
never
show
watched
in
Adventure
there.
Time.
You can put Amazing World of Gumball in there. You can put Chowder in there. You,
Well,
put,
Amazing
you
World of Gumball and regular show would
well,
be good.
Cartoon Network. To be fair, you could put like the Looney Tunes in there because they're all under the same fucking corporation. You say you gonna try and tell me, oh, I don't like Looney Tunes. Never watched it as a kid. Fucking everyone watched Looney Tunes as a kid, mate. Genuinely, I spent like
No,
half
because
my child. I
you know
spent
they'll put like big
I
chungus in
spent
it
I
for a
spent
funny
half
joke.
my fucking year, half my childhood watching Looney Tunes and Tom and Jerry on like
Oh, Tom and
Boomerang
Jerry
or
was
whatever.
cool.
Who else
Uh,
could they put in for cartoon? Johnny
I
Bravo.
just didn't
Put in
watch
there.
this shit.
What about? Did you watch Power Rangers when you were a kid at least?
Barely.
Oh my god! Didn't even get to experience the wonders of fucking Power Rangers Ninja Piss or whatever
I
it's
watched
called.
Power Rangers. I was into that for a little bit, but only for like half a year.
Oh, mate, you're missing out. Power Rangers fucking beast, you know. It's just a bunch of fucking buff teenagers running around in spandex going, Hwah! Hiya! And then they turn into a giant robot as well. Oh, great stuff, mate. It's the exact same thing.
Well,
It's the
I
exact
grew
same
up.
thing every episode for 28, like 26 episodes over the space of like 30 seasons. It's just the
I
exact
grew up
same
with
episode every time.
I grew up with an older brother who was in the generation of like
Who did watch Power Rangers?
no.
Oh.
He was in like the generation where first started out.
Oh, so he was
Like
watching like Tobuscus.
yeah, so a
Nug
lot of my
biscuit,
childhood was
nugget
just
and a
like
biscuit,
watching
nugget
YouTube.
biscuit. Well, we well,
So
Joe,
I didn't really watch
we
shows.
know
I
about
just
what
watched
we
YouTube
know about
because
what you used to watch on YouTube, don't we? YouTube Rewind 2013.
oh fuck off.
Oh.
Well, that was a little later, but no. So basically, my brother would just show me just like videos that were going around his friend group, and
Oh,
I watched
what? Like Charlie the Unicorn, shit like that. Like ASDF movies. I, re-
ASDF was one of them. Yeah,
you know what? I genuinely right. The first time I watched ASDF movies, I was in first school. Like I was in like year 4 when I first saw that.
I remember. I remember in like year three, I wanted to dress up as the fucking annoying orange for World Birthday.
Oh god.
That's the kind of fucking kid I was.
Honestly,
But
no, honestly, bro, we're part of the generation where it's like we're old enough to remember before YouTube, but like we spent most of our childhood still watching it anyway. Like to be fair, I used to watch a load of YouTube like in like start of 2010s. Then I went through a period of not really watching anything. And I was just watching like a load of TV and stuff. And then it went back to like all I watched was YouTube. Now, genuinely, I don't think I've used my actual TV in about 2 years, other than to watch football. Like it's depressing how little I use the TV now because you can just get like TV shows on Netflix. Like if I wanted to watch, I don't know, for an example, if I wanted to go out and watch Power Rangers for some fucking weirdo reason, right? I'd just go on like Netflix or something and watch it rather than going on. I don't know what channel it would be on these days, but you know, if I wanted to watch something like that, I get it on Netflix. If I wanted to watch Adventure Time, uh, I actually don't know what I would watch that on because it's not on Netflix anymore. Uh,
we've cancelled on Netflix now. I think it's shit.
wow. I mean, it is a bit crap, isn't it? But we'll
But we'll
talk
talk
about
about
that.
that
Yeah, we'll talk
later.
about that. Yeah, so, well, actually, I think this is a good segue to move on to our next segment, which is the first segment of the
Oh,
sus.
I've been looking forward to this one.
Yeah.
Welcome
So,
back to
the
Joe Hates.
sussy segment.
I was watching Family Guy yesterday. I was thinking of renaming it to Grinds My Gears because I was watching that episode.
You know what really grinds my gears?
You know what really
What?
grinds my gears? YouTubers who make music. That is what we're on about today. It pisses me off, and this also extends to TikTokers or porn stars, just
But,
whatever fucking like OnlyFans girls. You know, if you're an
right.
influencer and you get big on another platform, and you can't sing or make any music, and you're now starting to make music, it's gonna be shit. You look at the likes of Dream, you look at the likes of Bella Porch, you look at Dixie D'Amelio, they're all shit. You can't say that they're not. They are awful. They can't make music. The only reason that they're doing it is because they know people will buy it because they're popular for another thing, like dancing around or doing Minecraft really quickly, or they're in a vlog once. Like, why? Why promote yourself because you're popular on another thing? Why start? Because music is popular. Everyone listens to it now. Everyone's got Spotify on their phones. Everyone's got iTunes, SoundCloud, fucking YouTube Music. No one's got that, but hey, it's
I've
still
got
on
it
YouTube.
actually.
Like, honestly,
Excuse me.
you get popular and you put your music out there. Like, you've never once had a dream of making music, but as soon as you're popular, it's like, oh, I've loved music my entire life. I've always wanted to be a singer. No, you haven't. No, you fucking haven't. You've wanted to dance around, do TikTok dance, hit the whoa. Like, fuck off. No, you
Doing
have
the what?
not wanted to do music your entire life. You fucking liar.
Well, you
It's the
say
same.
that. Like, I mean, I've wanted to do music all my life, but the difference between me and them is I know I'm shit. Like,
Exactly.
I can't do music for
Exactly.
for the reason that I have rhythm, but I can't sing, and I can only just barely play the piano. So like, I'd be useless at it. The difference between us and them, well, me and them at least, because obviously you fall under that category. Don't try and claim you don't, Joe, because you do.
Wait, I fall under what category?
YouTubers who make music, mate. We've all heard Joe sings.
That's a
That is
joke, though. That's a
that is
gimmick.
music. It's music though. It
That's a gimmick.
well,
That's a
you're
gimmick.
like Joe. The segment is YouTubers who make music, and
No,
you
no, no,
are a
right.
YouTuber who makes music, Joe.
I
I mean,
said that to abbreviate. No, no, no.
technically,
Shut the fuck up. Shut the fuck up. Shut up.
technically.
Shut up. Right, right. Let's get out the technicalities. That was abbreviation, right? Right. So this is Joe hates YouTubers who make music after they get popular. Right.
Okay.
That's why I only said people like Bella Porch or Dixie
Okay.
D'Amelio, or because if we talk about YouTubers who make music, you're thinking about your Dodie Clarks or your
Who?
Rosanna Pansy. No, that's not the who's the violin chick?
I don't
She's the
know.
fucking cookery one.
Fuck,
Some
Nigella Lawson.
who's the violin bitch? Oh, you know I'm
I
on
don't
about.
know.
Or
No,
you
I
talk
don't
about your
actually.
K's on days. You know your
I know
chocolate
him.
rains.
I know him.
Like they're
Chocolate
brilliant. They
dream.
make brilliant music, and they did it before
So are you
YouTube, and
so
they're
are you
bringing that
classing yourself in with them then?
into your YouTube. Well, Joe Sings one of the first videos I did, and I'm not
Jay,
popular.
putting yourself in the
I am
same
not
boat as
popular,
Taze on
Jack.
Day.
All right, I
Putting-
am in no way a YouTuber.
You
I
and
do
Taze
not
on
brand
Day
myself a
fall under the
YouTuber,
same boat.
but
Uh,
I'm not classing myself with them. But I make music because I know it's shit and it's funny. All right, that
Funny's a stroke.
Dream is making music.
Sad.
Dream
Maybe.
is making music, crying when people call it shit. All right,
Have you
which it
seen he's
is
taken down the video for it?
fucking good,
He took the
good,
video down because everyone hated it so much and they were taking the
good.
piss out of him for
But
it.
no, it
That's
honestly
funny.
it
That's funny.
steams my piss. Like if it's a joke and you say it's outwardly a joke, great. I support you.
Oh,
Like
so
if
like, for example, like what's their name? Super Mega. They make a lot of joke music, for example.
exactly, like your Jax films, you know,
Yeah,
fucking
PewDiePie, I guess as well.
yeah, bitch lasagna.
Not
That's some
KSI.
shit, but everyone
Not
loves it because it's a
KSI.
joke.
KSI sort of a different bracket because he was making music before he got as big as he was now. But like it started as a joke and then it became serious as it went on. Like,
I mean,
you don't
KSI
listen
is
to
a different boat.
KSI's different because I mean his first song was Hesky Time. Hesky Time isn't exactly a serious song, is it? I mean, one of the lines in the song is, "Bitch, it's Hesky. You don't want to mess with me, because if you do, you'll be my next anal recipe." Like, I don't think that's a very serious line, is it? But then obviously now, like KSI has gone very clear.
I mean, KSI is different in a lot of ways because whereas most YouTubers like they still do their YouTubers, they promote it everywhere, and then they like just drop a song out of nowhere. KSI was different. He sort of took a break from YouTube for a little bit.
Yeah, he
He
came back and he dropped a
he
couple of
worked on it.
absolute
He worked on
clangers.
his rapping skills. He really developed himself,
Well,
and
you
now
say
he's
that.
doing Roblox concerts.
Well,
Um,
yeah.
and he established himself as
I mean, he tried
more
to
than
make
a
himself a
YouTuber.
serious he tried to make himself a serious rapper back in 2017 with everyone's favorite song, Creature, which is terrible, by the way. Even he will acknowledge the point, it's awful. But at least it was a serious attempt. I think once we got past the diss track period, I think that's when he actually started taking it a bit more seriously. Because I mean, as good as Little Boy is, because that is a banger, by the way. Little Boy, what tune? I think once you get on to like post boxing KSI, that's when he starts to take it more seriously, and that's when it actually starts to become half decent. I won't call it full decent because I don't think any of his music's particularly great, but at least like he took the time to get good at music,
Exactly.
whereas people like, for example, what's her name, Addison Rae and the D'Amelio
Oh, I forgot
twins
about
and
Addison Rae.
Bella
Oh, that
Porch and
is
stuff.
awful.
Well, I mean, to be fair, Dixie D'Amelio has had one big hit, hasn't she? Singing about her drip. But
Wow. Oh, that
well,
wasn't even her.
no,
But
it wasn't. But I thought it was to start with. To be fair, it does sound like her.
it does.
I mean, to be fair,
Weirdly.
Dixie D'Amelio is a jack of all trades, isn't she? She can dance, she can
Well,
sing,
well.
uh, and as we know from what
I
was that
know what
show
you're saying.
called? It was
It was something
the
general.
hospital,
General.
some like fucking TikTok General or whatever it was called.
TikTok general.
I do not remember what it's called. Her act
General
somehow
hospital.
that's the one. She was genuinely the worst actor in that entire show. Like she stunk to the high heavens. She was so bad. Like
Hey guys, me Dick
genuinely,
Emilio. I'm in a
genuinely,
hospital.
right? You could you could have done a better performance than her. And
Oh,
I mean, what was it you got in your drama GCSE again? Like a 4 or something?
two.
3? 2. There you go. Could have done a better performance than
In my
Dixie still.
defense, I
You
got
were dragged down by your partners, yeah?
not even that. In my defense, it came at a really bad time in my life.
Okay.
I had a lot of performance anxiety because this was year 10,
Yeah.
and yeah, shit happened in year 10. It was not a good year for me at all. Had it
Yeah.
been in year 11, I could have brought myself back up. A lot of my music was in year 11, which I obviously got a free in, my performance alone. So I'll take that. That's pretty good,
Yeah.
considering one of them was a fucking sheep, not sea shanty.
She shanty.
Why did it? Like, to be fair, we did a while. Me and Big Fire Monkey. Shout out to him.
Oh
Considering all we
god.
did was listen to fucking K-pop that he was putting on.
Oh my god.
Yeah, them lessons are weird, man.
What was it I got? I got like a 7 in music in year 9, you know. I don't know how. Well, I was about to say I don't know how. I do know how. It's because the group I was in for the performance we did in year 9 was with uh uh, I can say what their names are on the podcast. Jalen and Zach, who both
Oh, they're incredible.
they are actually incredible musicians. Like differences aside that I have between me and those guys now, they are incredibly good at what they do. like Zach is absolutely smashing it. Like he's he's doing venues all over England pretty much. Like
Wow.
I rate that highly. Jalen's doing the same. Obviously, they're in like different branches of music. Jalen's more like electronic, and Zach's more like rock or grunge or whatever. But they're absolutely smashing it. And all the best to the both of them, really. Like,
Absolutely.
I haven't spoken to either of them in a while. Zach especially. Like, I haven't spoken to Zach since we left high school. Because we sort of left the friendship on auspicious circumstances, I suppose. We'll leave it at that. And I haven't spoken to him in a while, but I hope he does all the best. I'm sure he'll go on to have a great career in music because he's got all the talent in the world to do it. Like, he's an amazing guitarist, but his vocals were always one of his weaker points. But like, having seen and like listened to clips of him recently, he's really worked to improve that. So yeah, I think the sky's the limit for him, and the same goes to Jalen. I hope the best. I hope the best for the both of them. While I'm stuck here just making podcasts.
Hey,
But
don't
I
knock
mean,
it.
yeah, I mean, hey, I'm going off to university to, I'm gonna be working with the BBC. So, who's the real winner now, lads?
That's the thing.
Yeah,
Like once you find something you're good at and you're passionate about, it's
yeah, exactly,
some people
exactly.
find it earlier.
Yeah, but other
Some
people find
people
it
like
later. Like
some people, us too,
those.
we found it a lot later.
Yeah, those guys,
Uh,
found that they wanted to go work in music a lot before. Like I decided, I didn't decide what I wanted to do until probably this time last year. Um, like it's ridiculous. Like until probably this time last year, like I say, I wanted to go into doing like journalism and stuff, and then I realised actually it's a bit shit. I don't want to do that. I'd rather be like directing and all that kind of stuff, which is hopefully what I'm going to be doing. Hopefully, unless I'm crap. Who knows?
you won't be. You won't be.
Yeah, I'm sure I'll be moderately okay. Uh, but
I
yeah,
mean, hey,
so
you directed me to listen to Donda, and I sort of
yeah,
did it. So
exactly. There
clearly,
you
clearly,
go.
you got talents because that's something I
Exactly,
would have
mate.
never done.
I, mate, I
So,
you'll be seeing me in the credits on 8 out of 10 Cats in no time. Rip
but
Sean Lock.
back to just finish. Yeah, R.I.P. Sean Locke. That was sad. But back to YouTubers who make music. If you're good at one thing,
Stick to
don't
it.
move to another that you shit at because ultimately it's just going to ruin your reputation even more.
Yeah,
Looking at you,
Jake
Dream.
Paul.
That's what the mask is. That's what the point of the mask is.
Yeah, Jake Paul.
Oh, Logan Paul as well.
Logan's better at music than Jake is, I will say. Logan had one decent song. That's it.
I wouldn't know.
I
All
remember
I
I
know is
remember I listened
all I
to
know
it
is the
and I
one
thought
with
it was
that fat
pretty
kid.
good. Logan, you're my hero.
Everyone has a hero, and all you can hear in the background is just Logan going merch,
Bad
uh,
at merch.
merch.
Where is it? Where is
Uh,
it? What's it
oh
called?
god,
Oh, God, I remember. I remember like when I was listening to it when it first came out. It's actually like not bad. What's it called? Going Broke.
I'll give it a listen.
It was a
But
diss track he made a couple of years ago because he was gonna have a boxing fight with a bloke, but it just never happened. And he dropped a diss track on him, and then the guy pussied out. Like, and then I think he fought Jake instead. I can't remember.
Hmm. But anyway,
Anyway,
moving on to our next subject on the sauce round. I've not done that yet.
well, you have now.
What's the worst thing on Netflix? Obviously, as I said earlier, I got rid of my Netflix subscription because I thought it was all shit.
Yeah.
Obviously, there's things that Jack likes on Netflix. Your
Yeah.
Breaking Bad's,
Breaking Bad.
um, which I don't
Good.
think we've ever said that on the podcast before.
No, never mentioned Breaking Bad.
Never mentioned that.
There we go. Oh, here we go. I found the worst thing on Netflix already. My Hero Academia. No.
Well, actually, this is funny because we just talked about YouTubers who go on to different careers. Um, Something that came out on Netflix a week ago, I think, or the other day. Addison Rae's new film. He's all that. I don't know what it's called.
I think yeah. I couldn't tell you what it's called. I know what you're on about though.
Apparently, it's really shit. Should we get up the Rotten
Well, I'm
Tomatoes?
to be honest, I'm just looking through Netflix now, and there's nothing that like looks particularly awful. It's just there's
31%.
nothing that looks very good. There's just nothing that looks awful either.
Oh God.
There's Fargo. I've heard Fargo's quite good.
31% on Rotten Tomatoes for Addison Rae's new film. Not surprised,
Queen's
honestly.
Gambit. Well, Queen's Gambit I know is quite good.
I well, for
Still
this, are we
Game.
going to go into sort of Netflix originals, or are we going?
Well, I can
Because
do whatever really.
I think if we talk about in a year's time, the worst thing on Netflix is going to be the Hype House
Yeah.
show.
Yeah, like
Why did they make that?
I'm just looking through it right now. Not a lot of like awful stuff on there, at least I can tell.
A lot of the animes are pretty bad just because
What
they're
they've
animes.
downloaded. Wow.
This is a no anime zone. You won't catch us talk about anime.
Spider-Man Homecoming's on there.
Oh, is that on it now?
Yeah.
I remember
Well,
seeing Far From Home on it a while
yeah,
ago.
I know Far From Home's definitely on.
They won't be for long though,
Ooh, got him.
because Disney now have the right to Sony
Yeah,
films.
yeah, they do. Gladiator, that's all right. Like, I'm struggling to find anything that's like explicitly awful.
They do have their stinkers.
I suppose most of the stinkers are probably like fucking hidden. Ah, there you go. Here's all that. Number 1 on Netflix.
Oh God.
Addison Rae is top of the casting bill. Fucking hell.
Fuck Addison Rae. Sorry.
Wait,
I can't stand.
Kourtney Kardashian's in it.
Oh my
What the
Christ.
fuck?
I bet it's a cameo role in it.
Wait, Matthew Lillard. He's the guy who plays
Wait.
Shaggy. Matthew Lillard's
Yeah.
in it. What the? Might have to watch it now, just to see Matthew Lillard. And then as soon as I see Matthew
Whoa.
Lillard, I'm turning it off.
It'll just be like the end credit scene.
Yeah, just skip through the entire thing. Oh my god, they've put Coke. Right, I found what the worst thing on Netflix is. They've put Coco Melon on Netflix. There you go.
That is pretty bad.
Coco Melon is awful. There's 3
I've seen
seasons
him
of
asked
it.
in this. He's
Oh
all
my
that film.
god, there's 3 seasons of Coco Melon on Netflix. That's 9 hours of
Isn't it
Coco
just
Melon.
free on YouTube though?
Yeah,
Uh,
making you pay to watch fucking Coco Melon.
oh,
My
there you
dear.
go. This is your favorite. This is your favorite TikToker in this film. Bryce Hall is in it, everyone.
Oh, for fuck's sake.
He's uncredited though.
Oh, thank God. Did you know?
Why does he have an IMDb? What
Well,
other
a lot of
films
people
is
have
he in?
IMDb. Mate, I can make you an IMDb. You can make anyone an IMDb.
One of my college teachers is on IMDb because he's an actor.
That's a shame.
It's not really a shame.
No, it's a shame that he's having to
Oh,
work as a teacher while he's also an actor.
well.
Just
I mean,
says
he's great. He's great.
it's
He's
a
very
comment on the
theatrical.
industry, isn't it? It's
He's
just a comment on
brilliant.
the industry. Society as a whole, disgusting.
This is sad. I mean, yeah, he likes what he does. I assume
Good for him.
he just goes home every night. I fucking hate that show.
Yeah.
What a cunt! Oh my god.
But yeah, worst thing on Netflix for me, it's Cocomelon. I don't, I don't. Oh no,
Oh,
no, no.
actually, no. I just thought of one that's on QTs. Not Q. Well,
It's
Netflix.
Cuties.
QTs.
Yeah, there you
Yeah,
go. Cuties.
that is
Cuties slash
awful. I've
Cocomelon.
not seen it,
Yeah,
but from
I
what
mean,
I
if you
hear,
did, I was gonna say if you do watch Cuties, you probably get put on a fucking list.
I'll put you there myself. I'll go become like a nonce hunter. Do you watch Cuties? Yeah.
Now I'm
Right.
panicking. Yeah,
They should
Cuties.
just put
More
everyone who
like
watched that in jail.
Cuties, more like pedoes.
Who was the fucking reviewer who's like, oh, I've got like erections and shit?
Movie Bob.
I remember
Fucking
like
Movie
reviewers
Blob
fucking loved that.
Productions.
Like, what weirdos?
Movie Bob was, well, he still is. I think he actually got removed off Twitter, or he like deleted his
Good.
account or something. Movie Bob is like the epitome of dumbass movie reviewer who has no idea what he's talking about, but tries to pretend like he does to pretend he's, he deserves to have his job.
We
Like
need
he
we need the
sucks.
nostalgia critic for cuties.
Ooh, ooh,
Ugh.
ooh. I don't know about that one.
Speaking of
It's Angry Joe.
speaking of shows and films,
Oh, this is
someone
seamless. This is.
someone who creates a lot of shows and
He
certain
is. He is
films
in a
is
lot of shows.
Gordon Ramsay.
That was absolutely seamless, Joe.
Oh, I
Unreal.
don't think anyone noticed. Hasn't he got his own studio now?
Yeah, probably.
I think it's like
Oh, what's?
Ramsay Studios or
I
something.
mean, let's think about it. What show is he currently doing? He's doing that one with.
Studio Ramsay.
Oh, what's the one he does with Gino D'Acampo and the other one, Fred?
I
What's
think
that?
it's just Fred, Gino, and
It's just Gino
Gordon,
Gordon.
isn't it?
It's just Gino Gordon and Fred go on an adventure or something. It's the cookery version of Top Gear. That's what it is.
Gordon, Gino, and Fred's road trip.
There you go. It's literally the chef's equivalent of Top Gear.
Yeah. Well, I guess that would also be like the hairy bikers.
Yeah, Harry Bikers is boring though.
Yeah.
Not as good as Top Gear
No one
or
watches
the
the
Grand
hairy
Tour.
bikers.
Nah. Only time
Uh,
I've ever seen Harry Biker is when it's on in a waiting room for a dentist.
oh, they always are. It's either that or
Yeah.
fucking like
It's that or location,
nature
location,
shows.
location.
Yeah.
Fucking Dion Dublin showing people a two-floor semi-detached house in the middle of Scunthorpe.
I named one of my Yakuza streams. Location, location, location.
Yeah, he did. But yeah, back to Gordon. Yeah, he's
He's
Scottish.
great, isn't he?
He's Scottish.
Everything he is Scottish. Everything he does turns to gold. Um,
Mm.
I
Except for
think
his food,
he's.
hopefully.
I think he's like. To be fair, he did do that shitty game show.
Yes, he did.
That was bad.
Well, you can't really blame that on him. I think like he was just selected as a host. It's like they've made Jeremy Clarkson the host of Who Wants to Be a Millionaire.
That's
Like,
good though.
yeah, he works as the host, but like, if it was a worse show, I wouldn't blame it on Clarkson. Like, if they made him the host of Countdown and then Countdown started to flop, I wouldn't blame him for it.
Have you seen the clip? Very fucking. He tells me that they've got it right.
Yeah, then they haven't. Yeah,
It's actually wrong.
yeah, it's good.
That's incredible. But Gordon
Good
is
on.
I think he's a great guy. He's known for being a harsh person like Simon Cowell, but he's also
Yeah, well, I think that's more like a character, though, isn't it?
yeah. Well,
Especially
it
on
didn't
Hell's
start
Kitchen, at
out
least.
as a character, but now it sort of is because I know a lot of chefs and they are very angry. That's funny because
Ooh, sorry. Ooh.
I you saying oh sorry.
Mr. Culinary Genius Joe over here. Oh, look at me. I worked in
I,
a pub with my brother.
No, I've just got a family of chefs.
Oh, look at me,
my
my whole family are chefs.
my
I can't
granddad,
even make spag bowl properly.
my granddad, my dad, and my brother are all chefs. So I know
Yeah.
a lot of chefs.
It doesn't mean you know how to cook though.
Oh, I never
Ooh,
said I did. I just said I
ooh,
know a lot of chefs.
ooh,
Calm the
ooh.
fuck down.
Rip Bozo, Rip Bozo.
Jesus Christ. I never said I know how to cook.
Yeah, there's video evidence of that, mate. Ooh, ooh.
To be fair, a lot of why I'm bad in the cooker stream is lack of space.
Ah, is that your
Like
excuse? Is
I'm
it?
trying to maneuver also like time. My time is
Yeah,
off the stream, so I'm like
yeah.
dancing around and shit and
Well, just set a timer then. Just like
that's not my way.
get an egg timer or something.
Like half the time there'll be stuff like overboiling. I'll just be there like doing Fortnite dances and shit.
Fucking
Um,
flossing in front of the camera while the water's spitting at you.
but no, I don't think Gordon Ramsay started off being angry as a character. That's just sort of how chefs are.
Yeah.
Like this gonna get Jack angry, but when I did work in a kitchen, I got
Oh,
threatened with a
sorry.
knife. Not that it was sort of a jokey way, but it's sort of it's. See, I took it
It's
as a
because
joke.
you just weren't contributing enough. That's what it was.
See, I was given a knife, right, to sort of
Okay.
like chop shit with. Obviously, I was just
Okay.
sticking it up my arse, and then
That's a shame.
this other worker came in. It's just like, have you got my knife? And I was just like, oh yeah, sorry. And then and she's just like, oh, you take it again, I'll stab you with it. I was just sort of joking. I was just like laughing. I was like, oh, all right. And then she came in a few minutes later, and she was just like, I'm so sorry for how I acted. I didn't mean to threaten you with it. I was just like, oh, you weren't joking. And yeah, so that was sort of interesting. I was just like, no, don't take it, don't feel bad because I thought you were just joking. But no, that was the thing I had to face as a 16-year-old, I guess. Mm. But no, so I don't think Gordon Ramsay is really well started out as a character, but now he sort of is playful at. Although you see him like oh, what's the fucker called?
Scoop.
Oh, Master Chef. He doesn't really get angry on that anymore, unless the guy's really pissed him off. Um, like I saw one a while back where like the whole point of the game was like the guy had to switch around like the other contest, like the guy who's safe had to switch around the boxes, and then like you had to cook with the box you were given that someone else has picked, and the guy who was safe just basically screwed someone over, just to basically get him eliminated. And the guy started kicking off, just like, "What the fuck, man?" You know, classic. Like I think he's like Chicago. He's like, "Come on, I got screwed over here, hey!" And then yeah, Gordon got pissed. He was like, "You can't cook with what you've been given. You're not a proper chef." And then and yeah,
Yeah, but what if you get given as like just lettuce, and they ask you to make
that's what it was. It
steak?
was just like because there's like I think there's just someone who just cooked with vegetables a lot. And
Yeah.
she obviously picked her box because she cooked with vegetables. And there was a guy
Mm.
who cooked with a lot of meat. And he was like, "There's no protein in here, man. There's no protein." If I can find it, I'll send you the vid. But yeah, so Gordon Ramsay, he's brilliant, and you know he's known for being a hothead, but he's not really. You know, he's a big sweetheart. But he's
Mm.
also known for putting his willy on people's faces. Um,
Mm.
yeah,
Mm.
I would want to meet him if that's going to happen to me. He's also very ripped, Gordon Ramsay. He's a very physical man. Uh,
Mm.
he's good looking, if I do say so.
Mm. Right. Okay. It's getting a bit weird now.
Um, basically what I'm saying is I want to fuck Gordon Ramsay. Wait, no, wait, whoa. But yeah, that's all I really have to say. Do you have anything to add?
Yeah, he's funny, and he makes the funny noises. He goes, "Wow, where's the sauce?"
I think the podcast is going on a bit long now. I think we both getting a
Yeah, getting a
bit
bit tired at
tired.
this point.
It always
Doesn't
happens
help
with
I'm
the
sick.
longer
Yeah,
ones. Well,
it definitely doesn't help I'm
we
sick
talked
this week.
about
But
SummerSlam and CM Punk for an hour.
did we?
Well, I think with No Way Home as well.
No.
I was gonna say SummerSlam and No Way Home, but I read it as SummerSlam and CM Punk. So, but we talked about the first two segments for an hour.
Okay, fair
What
enough.
time is it now? Oh shit! Yeah, we've been going for
About
2
2
hours.
hours. Yeah.
Oh my god.
Oh my god.
Oh my
Oh
god.
my god.
I didn't even recall for that long.
Oh my god.
Like my other videos. But
Oh my god.
please just do an outro, Jack.
Yeah. So
You're
if you
killing
guys
me.
have enjoyed this absolute bonza of a show, as the Australians would say,
I don't think it kind of
uh,
was.
bit of a bonza, mate.
We
Fucking
had fun. We had fun.
fucking wallabies, mate. I'm from Australia. If you guys like the video, leave a like. Remember to subscribe. Click that notification bell. And don't forget Vegemite sandwiches, mate. Fucking A, mate.
You're right,
Australia.
me cobber.
Ah, he's ruined it. Right.
That's the in
Well,
between. That was the in betweeners reference.
oh yeah.
Yeah. See, he
Yeah.
said I had a stinker, but then he thought about it and he's like,
Yeah. 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 Yeah, freaking sweet, Lois. Uh, oh god. Anyway, guys, we'll see you guys next week.
bye bye.
The video will probably not come out on the Tuesday because of
It's my fault.
reasons. Yeah.
It's
We'll
my
explain.
fault. Wait a minute.
We'll explain it next week. But yeah, see you guys next week. But not on Tuesday. Bye now.
Trash. Absolute trash. I was disgusted.